Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. This was a requested video, so I hope it answers your questions. I am going to make it kind of quick because it is getting dark and I don't have lights over here. This is what to look for when buying a John Deere 400. So it's basically the same as a 140, just a much bigger version. So if you've watched the what to look for on the 140 video that I did, it is almost the same, but we can go over some stuff here. So if you are buying the tractor running, something I like to do is get it fired up, get on it. Obviously you check all your fluids before you start it because it's not your tractor, and you should do that anyway. Put it in low, which is over here. Neutral's in the middle, high is over here. I put it in low. Start going, test the brakes, push them all the way down, see if the tractor will overpower them. If so, how easily. It should overpower them. If it's not able to overpower the brakes, then the engine is probably getting old and worn out if you are in low. It should easily be able to do that. If you cannot overpower it, it should bring the engine down some, but again, brakes aren't really something that add or subtract from value. So that's just something I like to check. Power steering on these is a big thing. If power steering doesn't work, they're going to be really difficult to steer. So don't go spinning it real fast. Just over and idle. If you can turn it like this speed and it goes nice and easy without you having to force it, your power steering is more than likely going to work. Another thing is these 400 series have an hour meter. The 400s is right here. The other ones are over here on the side. Check your hourage. In a gas engine, 2,000 hours is getting up there, getting a little higher. The transmissions will last a long time, but the engine is what you're mainly concerned about. In the diesels, I've seen those at 5,000 and 6,000 hours and they're fine. So the 430s, I mean, it's obviously worth less with 6,000 hours, but it's still going to run. A diesel will run a lot longer than a gas. So if you find a diesel with 3,000 hours, that's not low by any means, but it's decent. It's getting up there in hours, but it's still going to be a good machine as long as it was taken care of. Tires, obviously it's a plus if they all hold air. Keep an eye on that. Make sure the engine doesn't make any funny noises or knock. If it smokes, it's burning oil. The engine's getting old and worn out, and you are going to have to do some engine work to it or keep adding oil. So watch out for that. Blue smoke is burning oil. Black smoke out of a gas means it's running too rich. You can dial in the carburetor. A plus on these is the 3-point hitch. That's about 500 bucks. And I know you can't see very well again. I'm sorry about that. It is getting dark over here. Rear PTO is also a plus. I do not have that, but the last one I saw on eBay was $1,600. So keep that in mind. This tractor, as it sits, would probably bring $2,000. I'm not guaranteeing that. Markets are different everywhere. I am in Ohio. So this tractor could bring anywhere from $500 to $2,500, depending on if somebody wanted it. But that is because I have 4 brand new tires on it. Without the tires, that's $1,000 in rubber right there. So just keep that in mind. Make sure the transmission works in both high and low. And they will whine. Something you better do when you get it home, in my opinion, is change all the fluids. That's what I do with most of mine. The hydros are a little more forgiving, but on these 400 series, they do have a drain plug, so it is easier to change the oil. The 140s do not have a drain plug, the new ones, so it's a pain in the butt. Same with the 300 series, closed frame tractors. But it is a good thing to do to change the oil when you get it. Other than that, I mean, as long as it will run and drive, and everything seems to work, you're in good shape. When you buy it non-running, just make sure it has compression in the engine. There's not really much you can do about the transmission. Make sure it's in neutral on this little lever when you roll it. On the 400, this here is the PTO, so you can make sure your cable's not broke. I mean, there's not really much to go wrong. It's tensions, belts in the front. But again, that's not something that's a big money saver either way. I'm going to turn on the flash, and actually it did way better than I thought. These do have all 4 hydraulics up here. That is 2 sets. Something I also do is make sure all the levers run back and forth. The middle one has float on the 400. On the 420, I believe it's this one, and 430. But that's something I check also. There's not really a ton to go wrong on these. So as long as they're cosmetically decent and if they run and drive, I mean, there's not a lot to go wrong. So that's a couple things that I watch out for. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep this video short and sweet, but it was requested, so here it is. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you're not already, consider subscribing. If you have any video requests, drop them down in the comments. I will eventually be getting to what to look for on a 300 series when buying, but it is getting a little dark tonight. But I might try with the flash anyway. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Any questions, comments, concerns, drop a comment down below, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks.